Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 189, Half-Life Threevr. In this week's episode, we do a podcast about video games.
'Tis the season, buddies.
JfG Ash forgets the name for sleeping dogs.
Oh, well played. Fucking hell, it was annoying.
JfG Alex is off to Catalonia. There's a chat about the future of VR.
It is the future.
And finally, how have they got that running on the Switch?
Amazing! I can't believe it. Hello and welcome to the JfG podcast. This is episode 189. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. Hey buddy, how are you doing this week?
Hey buddy, as always, feeling good on a Wednesday, just pouring a beer, sparkling thoughts, give me the hope to go on. And on, buddy, yeah.
What are you drinking this week?
I'm
Straight in there.
I'm on the Piston Head. I had some left over from game night because it got rudely interrupted by a sick baby.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That licked balls. There's been a lack of sleep this week, but you know, it means that I've got some tasty lagers on the go. I've got a nice 6%er to kick things off with.
Traditionally, the cut-off point for me with beer, 6%. Any higher than that, and it tends to be sort of something that isn't beer.
Yeah, it's not really beer, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I've got, I don't know, some others. I've got a couple more lined up. So I'm very nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What about you, buddy? I mean, seeing as you asked me the question, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm on pint cans of Stella, buddy, because they were £4.50 for 4 pints, and I think that's pretty reasonable for Stella.
I'd pay that.
For anything, really.
Well, yeah.
Certainly Stella.
I got mine. Yeah. It was 6 of them for £8. I was like, I'm not paying that. And then it was like 12 of them for £9. I'm like, I'll buy that.
That's his jumping in point, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Yeah.
I will buy 12 for £9.
A couple of biatches.
Fact. Yeah, lack of sleep this week due to sick children still. 'Tis the season and all.
Gibbons, buddy, you head into the winter and it's fucking game over, isn't it?
It's just, I've forgotten about it because, you know, it's been so long.
Yeah,
and it's just absolutely killing me. I'm just so tired all the time right now. So my gaming has been limited, but I have been putting in some hours, obviously, on the Red Dead. Still doing that. And it's just been... I've been going to bed at like 10. I mean, normal people are like, that is bedtime, Ash. I'm like, why would you go to bed at 10 when you go to bed at like 12 and have 2 more hours of gaming?
I don't think I've got to bed before 1:30 for about 3 months. If I'm honest.
Nice, buddy. That's how it's done. That's living.
Yeah. That's living.
The weekend is pretty much the only time I did stuff. I went to the footy football.
Oh.
I went to see... Forest versus Stoke, the match that was, heavily anticipated, had super hype building up to it. I don't know if it did or not. I forgot that I was going until Saturday morning when my son's like, hey, we're going to the football today. I'm like, sweet. I better get to the pub then. So, rocked up at the pub at about 12:30ish and... I just had 3 pints of Brewdog for lunch. Then went to the football. I was quite pissed. It was lovely.
Nice.
Saw Peter Crouch. He was there. I forgot that Stoke had quite a decent team. They
held on to most of their side when they were relegated. They
got
all sort of ex-Premier League players, really.
Shawcross, Ashley Williams there. Obviously, Peter Crouch is there. What's the? Is it Butland in goal? As well?
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it was Button anyway. Like I said, I was quite pissed. Obviously, more beer was consumed at half time and then obviously straight to the pub afterwards. It was a good day. Lovely. I was
That's how we do football.
Oh yeah, Gibbons, buddy. It's the only way. I was very confused though when the teams were coming out, onto the pitch, and Enter Sandman was playing, and I didn't know.
I mean, you've been before, so you'd remember if that
I know,
was a regular occurrence.
And I was like, "Is this normal?" And I wasn't sure, but I went with it. I was happy, and it was good.
I think that's a banging intro. That's pretty pretty good.
It was, it was different, buddy. It was very different. I was very confused. Also drunk, as I've mentioned. Yeah, it was good. Saturday. It was good. So Saturday night was a write-off. I just fell asleep on the sofa, classic, because I was too tired. And then Sunday it was take my son to his football game, come back, put the football on, do a bit of ironing, watching some football. So yeah, it was a good Sunday. And then lastly, buddy, on Monday we got a moving date. We're moving, hopefully this time for good. And that date is the 26th of November, so like just under 2 weeks we get the keys. I think we're going to move on the Friday, which is
Black Friday.
Is it Black Friday?
Black Friday is the 23rd. Black Friday.
No, it's the 30th. We're moving then. So
okie doke. It's either the
post Black Friday,
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
More obviously, you're moving. That's more important than Black Friday. But it just rang a bell when you said it.
Yeah, well, Friday, mate. Good Friday. That's a Friday.
That's fucking good news, man. That's been a long time coming. So yeah.
So really that
works out.
This is literally the last chance for us to move, because that's exactly when our mortgage runs out.
Right.
Or so our mortgage application. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, all right, we'll move out and you can move in. We're like, thanks for that.
How generous.
How generous of you. It's not like we did that, 4 months ago. And
exactly.
The fact that when we move in, we've still got to pay the rent on this place. Also, on top of that, pay for the mortgage of the new place, and then the council tax on both properties. Yeah. Oh, mate, it's going to be a fun Christmas for me. Yeah, I don't think
as long as you're in, then everything's good.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I don't think I'll be getting any special toys, though, let's say, this Christmas, which is sad, but hey-ho. Is what it is, buddy.
Well, you got in there early doors with your headphones and shit. And,
fuck that. I'll buy shit. I don't care. I don't care if it's Christmas. I'll just buy it.
Yeah, you've picked up stuff throughout the year, so you've probably done pretty well.
Gibbons, buddy. So yeah, there you go. That's my week pretty much. Now I'm doing a podcast, which I love doing on a Wednesday afternoon with my bestest buddy in the whole wide world. This guy right here. And
hola!
Hey, bitches. So how's your week been, buddy?
Yeah, fine.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been all right. I've had lots of fun times. Starting off with Thursday night pub times with friend of the podcast, Paul. It's Europa League night on a Thursday night. That's the only excuse we require to make our way down to Cassidys and not back away to Hop House 13. But yeah, we were like, it's always dangerous when he does this because he has to drive past the flat to get home. So if we're meeting up, he'll often pick me up on his way through, and it's going to go south when he does that, because that means that we'll be like in the pub by like 6.
Nice.
And so we brushed about town and had some tasty beers here, there, and everywhere. Watched Arsenal Sporting Lisbon, which was one of the worst football matches I've ever seen in my life. Very painful.
How many shots on target were there in that game? Because Forest versus Stoke, I'm going to say there was 2.
I think there were 3. The keeper made 2 saves. The Arsenal keeper made none. So it was a shambolic affair. But it didn't matter because we were pissed, so it's fine. Yeah. Lots and lots of football times on the way, of course, as we head into more and more Champions League matches in the week, buddy. It's fucking cool. And I think England are playing tomorrow night for some reason, so
USA.
Perhaps be down there again.
USA.
Yeah, Gibbons. That'll be a Cassidys trip, I would imagine.
No, Gibbons, buddy. That sounds like a humdinger.
Gibbons, buddy, game night Friday, which was good, and then you had to depart, and it was just like me and friend of the podcast, Paul, bossing it on F1 and into Pez. And then Saturday we went and did some hiking through woods and fields and shit because it was lovely weather.
Nice.
Went to one of our favourite pubs called The Beacon, where you can look out over the whole of the town and the valley and everything. Had some nice beers. They're like a sort of quite a posh restaurant, but they've got like a bar of homemade everything. Like they brew all their own stuff. So you just ask for an ale or a lager or a cider, and they produce one. And it's unnamed, but it's always tasty. So yeah,
nice.
It was fucking cool, man. Like Missy's got a hot chocolate. We were like outside on this balcony, like looking over the whole valley. It's fucking great up there, and very windtumnal, which is a phrase we've coined between autumn and winter. There, buddy.
Like it.
Windtumnal. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, and then some Chinese for dinner, followed by Sunday shenanigans, buddy, where I decided I'm not a child anymore. When I was little, sometimes I would go, I want to eat this, I want to eat this, I want to eat this. And perhaps they weren't things that went together traditionally. And obviously, being a child and not in control of my own destiny, I couldn't have all of those things. It would be ludicrous.
That'd be silly.
I want Burger King burgers and KFC and marshmallows and alphabeti spaghetti and a baguette full of brie.
Yeah.
You're not going to get all those things at once, but I'm an adult now, and as such, that means I can legitimately act like a child. And I decided what I wanted was Persian rice, beef chili con carne, macaroni cheese, and a nice cooked glazed ham. So I just cooked all of those things and laid it out on the table and was like, da-da! And
done it.
Friend of the podcast, Paul, came over and we set up double TV displays, buddy, because it was the Brazilian Grand Prix, but also the Manchester Derby. So we had one on one telly and one on the other, and we stuffed ourselves silly and knocked back a load of wine and had mac and cheese, beef, chili, Persian rice, and pulled pork.
There you go. That's a Sunday.
That's a fucking Sunday right there. And Sunday was the last time I did anything meaningful worth discussing, buddy, as we enter Wednesday evening. So I'm going to leave it there. And unless you've got anything else, we should probably go and talk about what we've been playing.
Gibbons.
So, I don't think you've had the chance to play anything really solo other than a bit of Red Dead, have you, buddy? So do you want to just have a quick mention about what you've been doing on there, and then I'll move on to my weird list of nonsense that I've been playing this week?
Not a lot to talk about with Red Dead, because we've pretty much rinsed that over the past couple of weeks. Just
Gibbons.
Continuing with the hunting, I feel like I've had my fair share of lollygagging, I'd say, in this game. A lot of adventuring's happened, and now it's time to knuckle down and get stuck into this storyline and fucking get it done, really. I think that's my next point of call, is like anything with a yellow blip on it is going to get nailed. So I've just done a couple of those things. I can't remember what I think it was something to do with what's it called, like moonshine or whatever it is. You know, did that in the swamp. I think that was the last thing I did. So yeah, man. Still, obviously, absolutely loving this. So yeah, Red Dead, mate, continues to be awesome.
Yeah,
really.
Because it looks like we got sort of unconfirmed sources. We're probably looking at 3 weeks until Red Dead Online beta kicks off.
Yeah,
so
man.
I think a lot of people are going to be setting that as a target to finish off the single player.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to get that finished in the next couple of weeks, and then before Red Dead Online comes out, I want to go back to God of War and get that finished. To be honest,
yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, because as we head into the winter, it's we head in towards Game of the Year territory, and obviously they're both contenders.
It's going to be a funny one this year, because obviously, you know, game purchasing has been an all-time low for us this year.
It has.
Which is a shame, but, you know, things happen, life moves on. Vis-a-vis, c'est la vie.
You know, it's important to have a barren year every now and again, because, you know, we've had some years where we've picked up like 25, 30 brand new.
So many games, yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things, really. But I suspect we'll sneak another couple of purchases before the year's out anyway.
More than likely, buddy. More than likely. Yeah, so do you want to kick off what you've been cracking on with then this week? You've got quite the list.
Yeah, man. I will mention very briefly, I've been chipping away at Need for Speed's online challenges.
Yeah, how far are you on that? Do you any idea?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't
how many
say,
you've
no.
done.
Because
I just load it up each day for 10 minutes and just see what's on there, and if it's an easy one, I'll do it.
Do a couple. Again. That's pretty much what I've been doing with it, because we've completed the game now, pretty much, apart from like the added DLC stuff that I guess was put on there at some point.
Yeah,
so we've gone through
I've got one more of those
thingy races,
missions
the night
for the
ones,
dude. Yeah, I've got one more of those.
Is it? I don't know.
That's right, but it wasn't an achievement anyway. So yeah. So I think I would estimate I've probably got 6 or 7 daily challenges to do, and then I'll platinum that.
Yeah, same. So yeah, that's kind of nice. I still got to say, I think that's the best £4 I've ever spent on a game.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so much fun. It's got massive problems in places. And the longer that you spend with it, the more you notice them. But
yeah, mainly the difficulty curve. So when you get into late game, and it says that it's a hard race, it's not really a hard race. It's no different from the very first race that you raced. There's just more traffic and more annoyance than anything else.
It seems to turn up the rubber banding the harder the difficulties get. So
as well.
No matter how well you drive, and you clocked this the other day, if you're doing a circuit race, say with maybe there's certain game modes in there where, for example, you've got 5 minutes to do laps of a 30-second track
kind of thing.
Yeah, and the faster you go, the more the rubber banding kicks in, and eventually, if you pull away enough from the AI, you can end up in a position where they'll rubber band to catch you up and put in a lap that's literally impossible.
Yeah, so it's a case of
can't do.
It's a case of just sticking with them until there's like a minute left, and then just gunning it and hoping for the best. Yeah, which is absolutely retarded. So yeah, there are definitely issues with that game, but I still stand by like the 8 out of 10 though. I mean, I've played that game for like 20 hours now.
Yeah, I would give it a 7 rather than an 8. Because I hated the story so much, and the fact that it wasn't skippable.
It was awesome.
Made me so angry. But the actual gameplay pulled through, and the price. I can't separate that £4 from
obviously
the experience we've had. Like, if we'd paid £50 for this thing, I'd be livid. But for the price, it's been brilliant fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Gibbons. Cool. Okay, so onto my list. Firstly, Hitman 2 Prologue appeared in the demos section of the store this week.
Yeah, it did. Free.
Hitman 2 Prologue. I was very excited. Obviously got that downloaded straight away. This is not what you think it is, and that was incredibly annoying. It's also incredibly badly explained. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I'm there now, so I can fill everyone in. So this is the Hitman 2 Prologue. It isn't the Hitman 2 Prologue. There's no Hitman 2 content there whatsoever. This is the first game, as in Hitman 2016. The prologue from that game with the training mission on the ship and the training mission where you have to assassinate the dude who's supposed to be escaping in a jet. Remastered in Hitman 2's game engine. And with a few extra bits and bobs, so they've got a lot more telling you what to do in these tutorials. It's better tutorialized, basically. Graphics have been upgraded slightly, although fucking barely noticeable, if I'm honest.
I'm sure.
And then the actual prologue, you download it, and it downloads it's almost like a launcher for the entire Hitman 1 and 2 levels. So yeah. The whole content pops up. They've remastered or pushed the first game into the new game's engine with its extra control mechanics. There's some weird stuff going on with melee combat now that wasn't there before. A little bit more precision with throwing and stuff. And yeah, so if you buy Hitman 2, then you can play all of Hitman 1 in Hitman 2's game engine, and it basically sets it up like a Season 1 and a Season 2 with all of the levels in a line. I
think it's as long as you own Hitman 1 as well.
Yeah, you have to own Hitman 1. You don't get them otherwise.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that there'd be more of more content here, because it was in the demos section. It said that it was a Hitman 2 prologue, and it's just presented me with a slightly remastered version of the first game's tutorial missions, and I found that very annoying. I want to see a taste of the new game. And what it really made me think was, and this is what a lot of the reviewers have been saying, obviously the reviews have hit now this game came out last week, this game is just a season 2. This is not a brand new game at all. They've barely touched it in terms of new bits and pieces, and general kind of consensus seems to be that none of the levels in Hitman 2 are really touch the best levels of Hitman 1. I'm talking sort of Sapienza as an excellent example. I still want this thing, but it's certainly made me very battle hardened in there's no way I'm paying full price for this thing, because it sounds to me like a season pass. Granted, a very, very feature rich season pass, but it's a season pass all the same. So I think you pick this up for $55, I think it is on the store, and I think you're going to feel a little bit ripped off there, despite the fact
I think the fact that it's like a full price game and is a standalone game now, that this will go into a sale a lot quicker than the previous one, because obviously the previous one was episodic. And you can't really put that into a sale until everything's out, and then you have to wait a certain amount of time until all that content's out for it to drop in price, which is when we bought it in the first place. The original one, that is. But yeah, like I said, because this is a standalone, fingers crossed, it's going to come down in price quicker.
This thing will be £30 in January, 100%. And
I'll buy that.
That's when to jump in at that point in time. Because obviously I want it, and I think it'll be great fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And playing through the tutorial just made me want to play the first game again. So
I've updated mine, but I might as well download the Prologue if I can play all the original content in that.
No, that's the thing. You can't
until I buy the game. Oh, okay then. Oh, fuck that.
So they're all there.
There's no point in downloading it then at all unless you have the actual game. That's weird.
Absolutely no point whatsoever, because all you can do is the 2 tutorial missions, and the
which I played a hell of a
negligible. yeah, because it was on the beta, wasn't it?
Yep, and you could just play it for as long as you want. It was ace.
Yeah, so yeah, not worth downloading. Just kind of annoyed me, really, even though it probably shouldn't. But what annoyed me was how cryptic it was. I had to work all that out for myself. I went online, and a load of it's the standard fucking bullshit. All the games publications were like, "Oh, you can download and play the Hitman 2 Prologue," and they literally just typed a fucking 1-paragraph article and uploaded that to their website. No one's actually downloaded it, looked at it, investigated it at all. And I had to turn to Twitter in the end, and just random like chumneys on Twitter who were like, Is the download wrong? Like, have they accidentally uploaded the wrong thing? And then someone else was like, no. And then then there was an explanation from just some random fucking dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they want to sort their lives out, IO, really, in terms of explaining things properly, which they hadn't done. So, yeah, that's Hitman 2. Or rather, it isn't. Moving on.
We'll come back to that when we buy the game.
Yes, we'll be talking about that, I'm sure. As soon as that hits the sale, then we'll pick it up. No doubt. On to my quest for a good football game, buddy.
Good luck.
As I continue to get incredibly annoyed at PES 2019. This week I have been playing the FIFA 19 demo extensively, and last year's PES 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've done my due diligence here. So the FIFA 19 demo is all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's just not that great. It doesn't flow very nicely. It's got the same problem that FIFA's had since, I would say, since they moved to that Battlefield engine.
Yeah, the Frostbite engine or whatever
Frostbite.
It is. Yeah.
Since FIFA moved to Frostbite, it's felt stodgy and stunted and not particularly well flowing. I don't even think it looks particularly good for that switch of engine either. In fact, I really don't think it looks very good. New PES, graphically far superior to new FIFA.
Yeah.
Then I played last year's PES, which looks dog shit in comparison to both of them.
Yeah.
And when we played the demo, I really didn't notice a massive difference, but it's a huge difference.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. What I've discovered is I appear to have got pretty adept at dealing with the new game's bullshit, because I went back to PES 2018 and it felt a bit formulaic. And I know we had that game for ages. The AI is more sensible in what it does than the new game. The new game, it feels kind of a bit random. But having played the two side by side, and I sat there for an hour the other day, and I played a 5-minute match in one, 5-minute match in the other, and kept switching back and forth, like 4 times. And the new game is better. And I didn't think I'd be saying that at all. But the new game is better than the old game.
Have you been taking crazy pills?
It just doesn't work properly. That's the problem.
Gotcha.
So the way that it feels to play is better. The way that the game is animated is better. The scope for the different things you can do is better. But every now and again it just falls over where it feels like it was kind of half-baked. So I've been left in this position probably through playing so much of the new game where I'm not really happy with any of them at this point. And that's really annoying. So, yeah.
Dear. It's just a write-off year for football games, then I guess.
It's not great, yeah. So yeah, I can't go back to the old game because the new one, it just feels snappier and more interesting. And I've learnt to kind of deal with the foibles of it to a degree. So yeah, it's PES 2019 for me. I still stand by, if you've got the old one, don't upgrade. Because there's just no reason to. It's not good enough. But if you've got it, then there's no going back either, I'm afraid. So yeah, as you say, miserable times for football fans. But that's just how I feel, buddy. And FIFA's just isn't good enough.
It's FIFA, buddy. Of course, it's
just not good enough. It's just not a good enough game. So there you go. There's your footballing update. Moving on, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, buddy. This was PS Plus. Have you downloaded this yet? Have you got any interest at all in this?
Yeah, I want to play it, but I'd just rather be playing Red Dead and other things right now. It's one of those games that back in the day, I think I've said this before, that I was like intrigued by, but never wanted to buy.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. I'd heard that it was good fun, but I was kind of put off by the... I was put off by the tone of the thing, to be honest. All the trailers that I saw,
so cheesy,
fucking shite, sort of gobby humour. Like,
yeah,
really, the Gearbox logo flashes up at the beginning, and you're like, of course. And it seems like anything Gearbox publishes is just like obnoxious.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game, the remaster's amazing, by the way. I was looking at some video footage of the 2011 version of the game, and this looks great. It's really, really sort of crisp, and the lighting, they've got a whole new lighting engine here, and it really pops. It's lovely. But the script is fucking dreadful and just miserable to listen to. The voice acting's cheesy as sin, and it annoys the shit out of me. I played it for maybe 2.5 hours. The game mechanics are fun. There's amazing things you can do. You've got this whip where you can... It's a really long whip, like an electric whip, where you can grab stuff and pull it towards you. And a lot of the places, the levels that you're moving through, maybe it's fallen buildings, you know, where concrete's got those sort of iron struts sort of embedded in there for strengthening. So you've got a lot of exposed mesh everywhere, and you can literally just grab people with the whip and mince them through these like metal grates.
Nice.
There's some amazing mechanics, really cool. The gunplay's great. If you kick them, you've got like a gravity boot thing that turns them like slow motion. They sort of float through the air in slow motion, and you can just empty up into them. It plays great and it feels good, and it would probably be impressive if it wasn't for a certain little game called Doom that came out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The shit's all over it in every department and is everything this game wants to be. And as such, that's a bit of a shame. Your enjoyment out of this will depend on how much you can tolerate, or how much you like, even, I dare say, like the script, because it's right in your fucking face. And this isn't just a case of you have to listen to this script or whatever. It's constantly wresting control away from you. Every minute and a half, it fades to black and goes into a cutscene where you're not controlling it anymore. It's very annoying, especially because the gameplay is so snappy. You don't want to be pulled out of it, and the engine's nice enough at this point that all of that stuff could have been done in engine, but I'd imagine that wasn't the case at the time. So it's a little tired, very, very linear, kind of the way that shooters were. But it's good fun and mechanically brilliant. It's just if you can tolerate all the little bits of bullshit around the edge.
Okay, well, that sounds fair enough, buddy. Well, like you said, if you played Doom, then...
just play Doom.
Play Doom.
The other PS Plus game, Yakuza Kiwami, is absolutely not for me in any way, shape or form.
Oh, okay.
It's a Japanese-ass fucking Sega game with stupid dialogue and never-ending fucking conversations, stupid running animations. The whole thing's just the opposite of Western games. And
classic.
Just completely impenetrable to someone who is used to like AAA single-player experiences with fucking mocap and good scripts and, you know, a coherent story. So no, fuck that, man. Like, I can't get into that at all. It's like it reminds me of Shenmue in how sort of as Japanese it is. And back when games were more sort of like comics and cartoons for me, I probably could have embraced that and got a lot out of it. I've no doubt there's loads of those to love here if you're that way inclined, but there's nothing there for me whatsoever. Already deleted it. Gone.
That's fair dues, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I'm never a massive fan of Eastern games and things like that. I always feel like they're just too much of a struggle. Like you just outlined, because I'm so used to Western games and how they're
not
work
for us, are they?
No, they're not for us. Exactly. I mean, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you're not going to like them. And you know. What was the game? I can't remember now. You're a cop playing undercover. It's like open world-ish. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know the one that you... I can't remember what it's called either. I always kind of wanted that.
Yeah, they did a remaster for the PS4 version, didn't they?
Called?
It annoys the hell out of me, this, when I forget stuff. But yeah, I got quite into that, and that's quite... it's a very westernized, like, Japanese game, I must say, but it still had the tendency of those games. And I thought, oh, maybe because I kind of enjoyed that game, maybe I'd get into the Yakuza franchise, because, you know, they always get really good or decent enough reviews, and there's a lot of people saying good things about them. So I'm like, maybe, but once again, it's just finding the time to play a game that I might enjoy when I know I could just play a game that I know I enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
It's the perseverance factor, and yeah, I'm not saying this is a bad game at all, but it is just 100% not for me, and I suspect that you would feel exactly the same if you fired it up and gave it a go. Just one of those things. It's unfortunate.
Gibbons, buddy.
So, we're nearly there. Two more things, very briefly. One of them's called 'N Valor Verstand.
Okay.
Valor Verstand?
Yeah?
I don't know. This is a borderline tech demo. It's on the store. It's download demo thingy. It's some sort of puzzle game, first person, a little bit of horror perhaps, ropey as fuck, like weird, like shitty old Unreal tech by the looks, and involved a series of me walking through a corridor and going around in circles over and over again until I found that I needed to go in two separate rooms and turn off the lamps. And then the next time I went through the door, there was a new corridor there. Then I was teleported to an area that was like floating rocks in the sky and like 50 pieces of fire. And I eventually realised I had to run through the fire and turn all of them off. And then something happened. And yeah, no, it's the closest that you've come probably to one of these fucking Steam Greenlight nightmares on the PlayStation Store. It's really weird. The movement's odd. You can jump like 3 times your height and run at the speed of a fucking car. Graphically awful, and I have nothing more to say about it.
That just sounds amazing.
There you go. That's Envalor for stand. And finally, buddy, I've played the entirety of the VR extravaganza, Legends of Catalonia, the Land of Barcelona.
Go on.
This is a game, sort of, that was commissioned by the Catalonian Tourist Board to promote Barcelona and Catalonia in general, and encourage people to visit. So it's essentially, I think that this is designed to be in sort of tourist information centres and museums and that sort of thing. I suppose they made it and thought, fuck it, let's chuck it out onto the PlayStation Store. It'll act like a fucking travel brochure. Except the whole thing is a rendered video game with appalling graphics. It's got like 6 mini games, and it's just very confusing. You start off and there's a statue. It uses both of the move controllers, by the way. So you're fully immersed, buddy.
I'm fucking there, mate.
You're in the zone.
I'm there.
You talk to a statue for a while, literally a stone statue. He's kind of the head honcho. He introduces you to Legends of Barcelona. So you've got some woman who's famous for climbing all of the tallest peaks in the world, some mountaineer woman who's from Barcelona. I've immediately forgotten her name. A team of chefs who are famous for the alleged best restaurant in Barcelona and the world, which is called the Cellar of something, I can't remember either. And Carlos Puyol, former Barcelona centre-back.
There he is.
Famous for, of course, being a sportsman. And he's in his full Barcelona gear.
Obviously.
But he's also wearing barbarian armour.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So this is, you've got a floating book, and the book will appear and open up, and it'll talk to you and tell you facts about where you are. The voice acting is something to behold. Absolutely amazing. I don't believe any of it's actually voiced by the actual people. I did put it into Spanish to see if I could work out whether it was Carlos Puyol, if they'd somehow collared him into doing it. It is not. So,
shame.
So yeah, you point to one of the 3 parties of people, stroke persons, and then it takes you to various landmarks that are famous in Catalonia, and they're very poorly rendered as well, with texturing straight out of 1999. But yeah, terribly voice acted. You've got the mountaineer woman. If you click on her, then it takes you on an expedition where, there's a storm coming in, and she's literally on a walkie-talkie, and the acting's so bad, but she's literally like, what? There's a storm coming in, but 2 of my friends are on the mountain. Well, I have to find a way to warn them. Hey, and then she starts talking to you. You traveller. Perhaps you could fly my drone up there. And I'm a rock climber rather than a flyer. I can signal to them with the drone's loudspeaker. And then it instantly cuts to a mini game where you're flying a drone using one move controller to move it around the screen and avoiding just dozens of oncoming balloons. You have to fly through 7 hoops.
Watch out for them balloons.
You got to watch out for the balloons on top of the mountains.
Oh my god.
Well-known occupational hazard. And it just carries on shit like that. There's a bit where you're in a rowing boat. You have to literally row. I'm sure they were very fucking pleased about that, except they've pointed you so that... traditionally in a rowing boat, you tend to row backwards.
Yeah.
But they've kind of fucked the bed here, because obviously they couldn't think how you could
row
you look
backwards,
forward but also see where you're going.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of row forwards, which is really
Well, you can get them special ores with the joint bits in it that convert it to go the other way. You know.
That would have been a great idea.
There you go.
So yeah, then there's Carlos Puyol. He takes you to ancient fucking Barcelona times in some Roman arena and asks you to play this version of handball and this is probably the best thing about the whole game. There's like a grid of pentagons on the floor, 3 to a team, and you literally like drag dropping them so they can move 2 squares so you can point at them and select where they go, and you've got to get the ball from one end to the other without 2 people being adjacent to your pentagon that you're standing on. That was probably the best thing, but that's actually a sport, so I can't really hold them responsible for
that's not
that
on
being
them.
good.
That was them just replicating a sport. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just that there's a chef bit. You got to chase a little lizard around a market and pick up fish.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, it shows you some actual live action videos that it places you in, which obviously is infinitely better than everything that's come before, and makes a total mockery of the whole thing. So there you go.
The way you've pictured it just sounds amazing, to be honest. It sounds like an experience.
It took me about an hour to complete, and that was mainly because I had to have 5 goes at the drone through the balloons thing.
Rookie balloonist.
So unresponsive that I just... You can only hit 3 balloons and then it just goes, sorry, and then you can just try again, but it always starts from the beginning. Yeah, so there you go. It's just some nonsense. It belongs in a tourist information centre rather than on the console, but it amused me for an hour, so I suppose that's fair enough. And it's free, and it did make me want to go back to Barcelona, but only because I could recognise what these places were from having actually been there before, rather than because it was actually really good in any way. So yeah, there you go. There we are.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yeah, Gibbons. Yeah, it was a hoot. There we are. Okay. So yeah, that's all my fucking gubbins, buddy. We should probably move on. And now it's time for the news.
Fucking news.
All right. Number one. Red Dead Redemption 2 sold more copies in its opening 8 days than Red Dead Redemption 1 has ever sold.
That's some stats right there. Boom.
That's some stats. 17 million units have been shifted of Red Dead Redemption 2 in its opening week and a day. And yes, Red Dead Redemption, the original, didn't get that high. So yeah, there you go. That's some impressive sales.
They are loads of money, more than other things. What is that? I think it was like Infinity War, whatever it is. They've already earned more money than that film's ever made, kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Was it like 725 million they've made in their first week? Maybe it was like in first week sales. I think Infinity War only took like 600 and something million or something like that. I might be making this up. Who cares?
I mean, the Red Dead Redemption 2, its sales are down 53% week on week for this second week, but that still means they sold another 8 million units in the second week, so that thing's already...
terrible.
Or it's already on like 25 million units, and
They've
bearing in
done
mind there's only, I think, 85, 90 million PlayStations in the wild. I say only.
Yeah. And then that's going to get a resurgence again when online hits. Yeah. And then when it comes out on PC again.
Yep.
Well, that obviously means there's going to be a remastered version for the PS5 and Xbox X
2. Yeah.
1.
I would imagine so,
Xbox
buddy.
2, yeah, probably.
They know how to do it.
Yeah.
Man. And of course, the GTA Online made more in microtransactions than they ever made in sales, and that'll probably be the case here as well if they play their cards right. So
yeah.
Holy shit. There you go.
Crazy.
Yep. special. These were all revealed in a Take-Two earnings call this week. So yeah, that's how we know the exact figures. They were kind of trumpeting them for all to listen to. So
obviously, you would, wouldn't you?
Pretty pleased with themselves, rightly so. Number 2, buddy. YouTube's now available on the Nintendo Switch. The app came out this week. Amazing that they got it to run, buddy, on the Switch.
Fucking hell, man. I can't believe it. That'll run 720p video.
What an achievement, buddy.
That's
what an amazing achievement.
You gotta hats off to Nintendo. You know, fucking, I was on Reddit or some forum this week, and some twat was on about supporting companies, and you know, obviously the topic of Nintendo was flying about, and he was like, yeah, I only support like indie developers like Nintendo. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? You absolute mongoloid. Like,
that's impressive.
Yeah, Nintendo, that fucking indie developer, you know. Yeah. I haven't really heard of them before.
Imagine if you were a legitimate indie reading that. Would that make your blood boil listening to fucking rhetoric like that?
You'd be like, oh shit, I got to step up my game if I got to be like Nintendo.
Yeah, Gibbons. Ridiculous.
Absolute retards. The internet, everyone.
Gibbons. Well, either way, quite why it's taken this amount of time for a YouTube app to be added to the Nintendo Switch, I have absolutely no idea. But either way,
mainly because that was a really good way of hacking previous Nintendo consoles.
Right, okay. It exposed a weakness.
Yeah,
if you needed another one.
That's probably one of the reasons why. And now, obviously, it's been hacked to fuck, so they're like, oh, fuck it, might as well put it on there.
Fair enough. There you go. Well, either way, it's there for you now, buddies. And sticking with Nintendo, Nintendo had a big legal victory this week against ROM sites, specifically loveroms.com and loveretro.co, which were owned and run by family couple Jacob and Christian Matthias, husband and wife. They were running the websites which featured hundreds of ROMs, including Nintendo ROMs, including N64 and newer. Both sites went offline earlier in the year when Nintendo threatened legal action. Looks like Nintendo went ahead with that legal action. And this week it was announced that US District Judge Jennifer Zips, that's her name, Jennifer Zips, I like that, awarded damages to the tune of $12.2 million. It's assumed Nintendo went so big to serve as a warning to anyone else peddling ROMs, because I can't imagine that this couple are able to afford that. No clue.
Of course they can't.
I've no clue if they can pay the fee or not. Maybe they can, but it seems unlikely. I assume not. Previous instances where people couldn't pay were settled privately, so we haven't actually got any details of what happens next. But what a massive landslide victory for Nintendo, and probably scares the ever-loving shit out of anyone else doing anything nefarious with their games and systems. Anyone who's hosting their software. I mean, the couple pleaded guilty, obviously. I mean, it'd be hard not to. They said, you know, we've breached the license agreement. We were, you know, infringing on the copyright. But
this was only like Nintendo games, like Nintendo published games, wasn't it? It isn't to do with all the other ones.
Yeah, they don't stand up for the third parties. They don't give a shit really about that sort of thing. But they obviously, even third party developers who had publishers, sometimes it was co-published by Nintendo as their platform, and they had a lot of power at the time. So first party is a kind of very well distinct kind of, you can kind of know where you're going from with it now, but at the time it was kind of a bit muddier as to who was in charge of what and who had a stake in what in terms of publisher rights and stuff. So yeah, there you go. They got absolutely boned and probably really did deserve it. And let that be a lesson. If anyone's after ROMs, then get on it right now and get out of
I've
there.
stockpiled a few. I'm not going to lie.
It's probably best because they're on the warpath.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the $12.2 million is there. it probably won't be the final amount that they will have to pay. It will, well, more than likely come down.
You would declare bankruptcy and you know, see what happens from then on.
See what goes from there. But yeah, it's a massive warning to any other websites or things doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, so it's a case of either hoard them in quick, guys, or you know, just you'll be able to find them elsewhere.
Yeah, it's a crazy figure, and I've never understood why anyone would host pirate content.
I know, right?
I don't know why people post torrents. Like, I can only assume it's for posterity, but it just seems like such a risk for no reason whatsoever and basically no reward. I mean, it's different with these guys. You know, cover their website with ads they were making on it. They're probably living off it. So
yeah, exactly.
That's different. But quite why anyone would, out of the goodness of their twisted heart, host a load of pirate content, or you know, every time you're considering downloading a movie off of a torrent or something, someone's put that there. Someone's like risked their fucking livelihood to put that there
to put
for
this
no
stuff on
money.
there.
Like, it's bizarre.
It's weird, isn't it?
People who stream their fucking Sky Sports subscription on a weekly basis for football matches, just so random people from the internet can watch them, and then they'll complain if the stream's buffering.
Yeah,
they're like, what the fuck?
I know.
It's like,
it's crazy.
Mental. Absolutely
It's the
mental.
world we live in, buddy.
It's a bizarre
The internet
place,
has ruined
by the
everything.
way. Massive win for Nintendo. So they've got some money. And presumably they're happy with it.
Developer.
But a company that isn't happy with the amount of money they've got, buddy, is Activision Blizzard, who
they got
had
more money. Yeah.
had their earnings call this week and announced that they were disappointed with the Destiny 2 sales, specifically
Forsaken,
yeah, but the engagement as well of the user base. They said they've not seen the full core re-engage yet.
Understandable.
Activision there. So they're essentially saying they don't think enough people are sticking with it by the seams of things. They've been kind of going balls to the wall here. Destiny 2's been given away on multiple platforms at this point as they're trying to get more and more people to buy Forsaken. It's been very aggressive in a giving shit away for free kind of way. It surprised me somewhat, but I suppose the game is a kind of living, breathing thing, and who's buying Destiny 2 for the first time at this point? It's just not something that is really going to happen. You'd have it already. But when they added it to PS Plus and then they made it free on PC, it's a very aggressive way of trying to get people to buy the DLC packs. But yeah, anyway, Bungie head honcho Luke Smith was quick to respond to this, as this was reported in all of the mainstream gaming media. He says that Bungie are not at all disappointed with the Forsaken update and the sales and so on. He said, "We're building Destiny for players who love it, and building Destiny for players who love it is and will remain our focus going forward." Fucking God help us all, because I've never seen a sentence that was more meaningless. What the fuck are you doing otherwise? He's essentially saying we're making games for players, and that shouldn't really have to be spelt out at this point. But I think he was trying to say we're not making games to monetize them. We're making them because we want people to enjoy playing them.
Yeah,
and that's where we are. That's where we are with this bullshit, and with AAA games, in that the games are being created with monetization in mind. So they're being made worse on purpose. They're being made grindier on purpose. And I think everyone's kind of forgotten, buddy, that this shit's supposed to be fucking fun. So I think he was trying to reiterate that at this point.
I mean, take it how you will, but the way I'm seeing it here in the two statements or whatever, it's a case of, the company are disappointed because where's the fucking money? And he's like, well, yeah, but we just want them to enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, they'll buy more stuff, or they'll stick around longer, or they'll buy the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and so on, making a franchise, I would say.
I would suggest that if you really gave a fuck about making games for the love of it rather than money, you probably shouldn't sell your fucking soul to Activision. But then, well, that's just my opinion. I mean, Bungie were more than big enough when they cut ties from Microsoft to go it alone.
Yeah,
self-published, CD Projekt Red style. Maybe it was in its infancy a little bit more when they made that break from Microsoft. But either way, it's mixed signals, and I'd imagine Activision weren't especially impressed, but at the same time, they would have considered it a tactic from Luke Smith.
Yeah, of course it is.
So,
it's that whole thing of, oh no, stick with Bungie, they're the good guys.
We're the good guys. We're owned by fucking Activision.
Yeah.
We're the good guys.
We're the good guys. Don't listen to those corporate fucktards.
Yeah, because we're not corporate fucktards.
We're not those guys.
They're going to release a new game that everyone fucking hates and then gradually turn it into the old game again.
Indeed, buddy.
Yeah, good
shout. So it's done.
So there we are. That's the tale of Activision, Blizzard, and Bungie for this week. We shall move on, buddy, to the Xbox thingy in Mexico, X.189.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of this? It was on Saturday night at like 9 p.m.
I've seen some highlights.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It looked fun. They bust in a bunch of fucking crazy people to be in the audience because it was the worst kind of video games conference crowd, i.e. the oh my god, people like crying in the front row and shit. Yeah.
You know, going whoop,
Microsoft
whoop.
always do a great job of that. They'll get like 200 people. They'll show them the time of their fucking lives. You know, they just completely juice them up and then pop them in front of fun. And they're so happy that, you know, they're just going to fucking drink in all of it and love it and make a lot of noise and so on.
Sounds good. Sign me up.
Sure thing. So here's a few bits and pieces from the X.189 in Mexico. Firstly, Crackdown 3 finally has a release date. It's February the 15th, 2019.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And seeing a fair bit of footage of that game now. Live stream footage, specifically the multiplayer, fully destructible multiplayer where,
Power of the cloud.
Lots of towers, and they'll all fall down eventually. You can jump about. It looks a lot like the first game, actually. It's kind of captured the spirit of the first game. It looked a bit weird to control to me, but I suppose I'll find out, buddy, when it immediately hits Xbox Game Pass in February when it comes out. So that'll be nice.
That will be nice, buddy.
Sea of Thieves is getting a full-blown PvP mode as they continue to try and work out what that game is and why you should play it. So there we are. It's Sea of Thieves, incredibly impressive game with no content that they're constantly adding content to.
They're trying to build a game now.
They're trying to build a game at this point now that, that's on Xbox Game Pass. So I'll probably have to try that out.
Try that out.
Xbox One now has keyboard and mouse support. It's coming this week at least. It may not be there right this minute. Is it today?
I think it's Wednesday.
Okay. That's fine by me. It does then. Keyboard and mouse support. First games to get it, Fortnite and PUBG, I think.
Oh, I thought it was Warframe.
Oh, Warframe. There you go. I knew it was one of the two. So there you go. That's there now. Hopefully they will have devices in place so that you can see whether the person you're playing with is using that or not. It's pretty important.
Be handy, that.
Pretty handy, pretty important. Microsoft has bought 2 new studios to add to their arsenal. We've been saying for ages that they need to keep buying studios because there's a distinct shortage of first-party titles coming from Microsoft, and that's been the case since this console cycle, I would say. They are still making moves there, so they have bought In Exile, who are responsible, among other things, for tactical games and RPGs. The Bard's Tale is one, it's a good game. Wasteland, another one, fairly well-respected game. And probably more excitingly, because of the sort of scope of the games that they've created, Obsidian Games. Microsoft have bought Obsidian. They are responsible for, among other things, Pillars of Eternity, Fallout New Vegas, and South Park The Stick of Truth. All of those very good games. And that's pretty exciting, I would say. Microsoft. throwing their full financial weight behind those companies.
They're still picking them up, aren't they? This just means that, in my point of view, the next Xbox console, whatever it is there's going to be a lot of first-party content on that. And that may be a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know. But, after them picking up, God knows, they announced so many at E3. Was it this year?
Yeah, it's 5 new studios they picked up at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have a big old whack of games coming exclusively for them. I'm guessing for Xbox and PC.
Yeah, and you would imagine that, that if they're forward thinking enough, and I've no doubt that they are now. We're under Phil motherfucking Spencer's steady hand, buddy, and powerful biceps. That they probably are already cultivating that launch lineup for the next console, and it could be an absolute cracker considering the IPs they've picked up and the developers they've picked up as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out. I must say,
Gibbons. Finally, big one. About a player on that PUBG, and Ori and the Blind Forest, and Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice, and 5 or 6 others that are less impressive, are all being added to Xbox Game Pass. PUBG coming this month, Hellblade and Ori coming in December, as that system continues to impress, I would say. For the first time, 6 games leaving the service, but they're all tiny, really old indie titles that I can't imagine anyone's playing at this point anyway. But it does set a precedent that they are going to do that. I suppose they can't have a never-ending library of software.
So but it's the case if you get it now, then it's yours, isn't it?
I'm not sure exactly how it works. I kind of thought that if it
was that just games for gold? I think that's just
if it's removed from the service, then
you don't have access to it anymore. Yeah, fair dues.
So there's probably a slight warning there that you're not completely in control if you're in Destiny, but for the most part, it's looking like very old games are going to be removed, and obviously PUBG, Ori, and Hellblade. Those are 3 games that I'm well up for playing. So pretty cool.
Well, it's like with Origin when they took away like FIFA 14 or something. It's like no one really cares about that, but
Gibbon, that's absolutely fine. So there you go. There's your XO18. That's the last big publisher conference of the year. Of course, we'll have the Game Awards with old Jeff Keighley. That's still to come. Voting's opened for that if you care. I don't know why you would, but fill your boots. Moving on. Leaked photos, rumours and sources. Lots and lots of information coming from lots and lots of sources suggesting that these rumours are almost certainly true. I took my stuff from Eurogamer's article as well as a little bit on Polygon. Suggests that Valve is building a new VR headset which they will market first party rather than perhaps having the HTC thing going on there. And it will allegedly release next year with a Half-Life VR game, fully fledged Half-Life VR game. The headset will have a very wide screen, 135 degrees field of view, and the display will be 2K resolution, and the headset will be wireless.
That's some stats that could not be true.
It seems unlikely
if they are
that
true, that's
lies.
Impressive.
Yeah,
it's
I've seen
very,
pictures
very
of this
impressive.
thing, and the field of view thing is really, that's the first thing you notice.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got
that's
my sort of
be a big
stubby wraparound PSVR that I was playing on earlier, and this thing's literally like, real wide, like all the way back to your ears almost. So pretty cool. But
sounds cool.
That thing launches with a proper Half-Life.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing with Half-Life, they're always, they're not like, they're classed as like the pinnacle games of like when things change. In if you look back at, the previous 2 kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe that will be the first like VR game that everyone's just like, holy fuck, this is a needs must.
The killer app.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all great news for VR when you hear stuff like this, because it sort of reinforces that it's not just going to die on its arse. You know, if a group like Valve are chucking their full resources behind it and launching a new headset with Half-Life, which is probably one of the most sort of important and excitable sort of IPs that you can get, then that's great news for all of VR, anyone who has a headset on any platform, because it just builds up the hype and you know, I'm hoping that PSVR has a good Christmas. They seem to be going pretty hard on the adverts for it. I'm seeing a lot. Yeah.
There's all kinds of sales kicking off and stuff as well, like with Black Friday coming up. Do you think that, you know, VR now is at the same stage as like the PS1 and the N64, where it was like the first step into like 3D worlds, and at the time it was awesome, but also really shit?
I think
and then
so.
From there, you got like, you know, your PS2 and your Xbox, and you had games like GTA 3 and Halo and stuff like that, where you're like, holy shit, these games are actually turning out pretty damn good now.
I mean, that's the hope.
Hopefully, this is going to be that kind of next step. Because it can go two ways, can't it?
It's either going to go the way what you're talking about there, or it dies and there's a lack of interest and no one bothers, and the new consoles come out and neither of them have VR headsets supported and no one gives a fuck. And that's the other way it can go. So it's only really those two ways it can go. Either PSVR, I think, is a spectacularly amazing thing because they managed to get this incredible technology to work on essentially a fucking mid-range 2011 PC.
Yeah, a massive ballbag PC, yeah.
And as such, that's incredibly impressive, but also incredibly restrictive for publishers in that, you know, there's a real shortage of power there. The hope is that, stuff like this gives me hope that it's not something that's going to die. And it would be such a shame if it did, because I think that all of these fads that have come and gone over the years, of random technologies, like the Kinect, for example.
What a beautiful thing.
I think that they were inherently, looking back on them, you could consider them inherently bad ideas. The reason they didn't work is because they were fucking bad ideas, but I don't believe that that's the case with VR, where it is at the moment. It's not a fucking bad idea at all. It's an amazing idea that just needs support, cultivation, and affordability above all. Yeah. And Valve needs to, that's something that needs to be considered. You know, the Vive is an amazing piece of technology, but unless you got $2,000 to build a new gaming rig, buy the system, buy the sensors, and also a big enough fucking room to use it in, then it's, you know, that's a sort of device that can never be mainstream in that guise. Not for that
you're not going to be able to use that in your fucking living room, are you?
No, but look at where we are with, for example, the Star Wars VR experience at Disney, and that was on tour and came through London as well. That was a fully mapped warehouse, essentially. You wore your headset, and the warehouse and the level were 1-to-1, so you didn't need to. You had full sensors, full room view. You can go and do this. It's all the Disney parks. It's, I think, $30 to have a go, and you do a full blown like Allied Assault type thing in Star Wars with VR headsets with friends. They're all rendered. You're all rendered. There's infrared, so you can sense all of the lights and everything. That's amazing technology, you know, and I can't help but think that does have a future. That's not going anywhere. I really do think that, and it's not like 3D in cinema. It's not like the Virtual Boy back in the day. Like, the tech's there, it's proven.
I feel harsh throwing the Virtual Boy in there. I mean, that was like...
You got to look at these failed, miserable
How many
attempts.
years ago? That was like 20 years ago, minimum.
I know, but
more than
that was... It was proof of concept, and it worked, and then nothing until the Oculus came out.
It's because they realised that, they were nowhere near anywhere.
Haven't got the tech for it.
Done right now.
I think the tech's there now. It's
definitely.
It's exciting. I think it's really exciting, and it is an amazing thing. I've been using my VR headset as the weather is cooled and I no longer got old Billy sweaty face all the time.
Nice.
I've been using it almost every day, the VR headset, and having an amazing time. Been doing some great like racing and stuff on there. I was playing a bit of Wipeout earlier. That's fucking incredible in VR. Like, you don't want to have had a big meal beforehand, but it's an amazing experience. It's so cool, so good.
Nice.
But yeah, exciting stuff, and we'll keep you posted, obviously. Couple more bits from me, buddy. Abzu announced for Switch, arriving before the end of the month. That's a cool sort of third-person snorkeling simulator thingy.
Yep, bit of snorkeling.
Quite fun. THQ Nordic has bought 2 new studios, Bugbear, who are the creators of Wreckfest, which, by the way, is listed everywhere as coming out this week, but has actually been delayed till May next year. You can fucking pre-order this thing everywhere, which is why I had no idea it wasn't coming out. It had been kept pretty quiet. It was only actually on the Bugbear official Twitter and Facebook pages that I found out the truth. But like, Game are taking pre-orders for this thing right now, and everyone thinks it's coming out this week, but it isn't. So there we go. Whether it's been delayed because THQ have picked it up and want to sort of do a proper ad publishing campaign, polish it some more. I mean, it can only be a good thing, really, probably for the game. But it's really weird. I've never known a game to be absolutely fucking nailed on. You can buy it on any retail site on the internet right now, and it is not coming out. There's no firm date for it.
That's weird. Crazy.
You would hope that most of these places had the fucking backbone to cancel those straight away, but I'd be surprised if that was the case. Anyway, they've been snapped up by THQ Nordic, who are just buying everyone and really trying to turn themselves into a sort of big old force in the games publishing market.
It's crazy.
The other one they've picked up is the studio Coffee Stain, who are responsible for, among other things, Goat Simulator, which was an incredible and unlikely hit last year, or the year before, rather. So, Bugbear and Coffee Stain added to THQ Nordic's arsenal, and THQ Nordic are saying that they currently have 35 unannounced games in development across their various arsenal of developers.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Mental, isn't it? So, pretty fucking weird, but pretty cool. Fair enough. They've picked up some cool IPs over the years, so they did really well from, obviously, they aren't THQ, they were Nordic Games, and they've taken the THQ name, which I always thought was a bit odd, but hey, there you go. So that's that. Finally from me, buddy. The US Army has established an esports team.
Yeah, they have.
Members will compete in international tournaments, and in their downtime, they'll QA test Army apps and programs. This is something any US citizen can sign up for, as far as I can tell. I'm not sure you have to actually be in the Army. You're just kind of representing them, although it's been discussed that there might be some sort of real-life boot camp element if someone did want to sign up, which is quite funny.
Weird.
This has been established as an idea, well, they're saying that it's been established because there was an Inter-Barracks Street Fighter V tournament that hundreds and hundreds of soldiers participated in, and then that gave them the idea for the esports thing. But this announcement comes off the back of figures showing that the US Army missed its recruitment quota this year for the first time since 2008.
Not enough war going on.
It's just not enough war. So I don't know if maybe that's actually why this is happening. But it did remind me of when they have used video games before for sort of promotional reasons, the US Army. And I used to play this game. They actually released from scratch and built this game from the ground up and hosted it and everything. It was called America's Army. There was a sequel as well. You can still get it on Steam, in fact.
Great game.
It was a great game. It was completely like realism in terms of, you know, if you got hit, you're dead. And then you have to sit there and wait for the game to be over. It's probably one of the very early things that got me into Vegas, I would imagine, playing that. I used to play this with some people that I used to be doing like a horrible cabling job with back when I was sort of 17, 18. But yeah, so this was America's Army, and I found out some interesting figures today. The game was free, obviously. They wanted it to be a sort of promotional thing. Over its first 10 years of existence, it cost the US Army $32 million to manage the servers and host it and keep it up and running. And they're still paying for it to this day because it's on Steam and crazy.
Why not, anyway, Why not?
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. US Army esports team. So that's kind of weird, but fine. Okay. I suppose if Schalke can have one, then why not the US Army, buddy?
Exactly. why not, buddy?
Couple of biatches. Why
it's
not?
The fad right now. Get your esports on.
Yeah, unless you're fans of FC Basel or BSC Young Boys, in which case
then you can
they'll
fuck
throw
off.
Controllers all over the pitch.
Yeah, they will throw controllers at you.
So that's my news, buddy. Pretty wordy news, lots of news, but hey, it's the season, isn't it? And with that in mind, I think it's probably time to hand over to you for my favourite section, and I'm sure the listeners as well, and that, of course, is Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favourite Thing of the Week.
Oh, cheers, buddy.
No worries.
Well, few things on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Who knows? We're going to start off with classic consoles, as in classically small consoles, as in the PlayStation Classic that's coming out in December this year, and it's like 90 quid with some games on it that look okay if you like them, but I don't. Apparently, or not apparently, it is confirmed that it's using an open source emulator, the PCSX emulator.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've heard some bad shit about this thing for hands-on, like saying that it feels jaggy as fuck.
Yeah, like I've never had much joy with PlayStation emulators. They've always been a bit ropey, I must say.
Except Bleem.
Yeah.
Not even Bleem.
No, not really. So yeah, they couldn't even be asked to make their own, so you just piked someone else's and chucked it in there. So I'm guessing this just means that you're going to be able to hack the shit out of it and put all your PSX games on there yourself and do what you want, really, if it's an open source emulator at the end of the day.
I don't think there's been an instance where one of these miniature consoles was launched that hasn't been hacked, so I think it's probably the odds are in our favour that you'd be able to
I think
get
that's
Die
the whole
Hard trilogy running on that.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put the proper 20 games that should have been on there. But just, is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't... It's just easy money for them at the end of the day, these things.
That system, you can't launch a PlayStation Classic console that doesn't have Tomb Raider or Wipeout on it.
I know, right?
Doesn't work.
I know. You ain't gotta tell me, buddy.
They were like the bread and butter at that point. They were massive games. The console was known for them.
Yeah,
I know it's licensing, but I don't care.
Sort it out, mate. Sort it out.
Get it on there.
Yeah, keeping with classic consoles, buddy. The PC Classic has been announced.
Okay.
Yep. So this is a really small PC with some USB ports with mouse and keyboard support and Bluetooth support. Not much has come out about what games or anything's on it, but yeah, it's a really small PC.
I mean, what constitutes a classic PC game? Because the PC's been around since like the 80s, and therefore
I don't know.
Pick an era, Like, it's not like a console that had a limited lifespan and therefore limited like arsenal of software.
I don't know, but the Unit-E Technologies have revealed their prototype for the PC Classic. Accordingly, the indie company will start a crowdfunded campaign sometime this month. There you go. Fuck knows what it's going to have on it, or what it's going to be, or anything. It's fucking retarded, if you ask me.
Sounds weird. Yeah.
Sounds absolute ball bags. But there you go.
Strange.
Yeah, very strange. Right, Sony shit coming at you right now. Sony patented, I don't know if it's a phrase or whatever, but it's called remastering by emulation.
Okay.
There you go. Apparently adding 4K HDR, better textures, and more without touching game. I don't know what touching game means.
Okay, so it's like an emulator that upscales automatically, maybe up-reses textures automatically, something like that.
Sorry, it says touching game code. That's where it cut off. But yeah, touching. Yeah, so there you go.
I suppose, is that like Is that what the Xbox does? When you put an original
so.
Xbox disc into an Xbox One X?
Isn't that just upscaling and shit?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there must be more to it if they're patenting something. Maybe there's some actual texture upscaling stuff going on here, or all the filtering and anti-aliasing that goes on. I suppose there could be all sorts involved. Sounds interesting, though.
I'm reading some techno shit, and it's not making much sense.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if I wasn't like 3 beers in, it would be better, but shit happens, and the software's played at a higher resolution with better stuff. There you go. Fact.
It'd be quite impressive if you could make old games look better without any effort.
Yeah, it would be cool.
You could chuck your whole they could chuck their entire PS1 and PS2 software library at it, and it'd just
hope for the best.
Yeah, just see what fucking cross your fingers.
Yeah, see what happens. Nice. Also, Sony, they've another patent. It's a gaming controller with a touchscreen display. Could this be for the PS5? ? Who knows? Touchscreen display. Mate. PlayLink, yeah. I mean, maybe it's a controller where you put your phone in it. You just put your phone in it.
Dreamcast was a great console, buddy.
I know, that's the first thing that I thought of. Because that was just awesome. You take that thing out, it's got little buttons on it. It's like a mobile gaming system. That's what you want.
Speaking of PlayLink, by the way, we didn't report on this because it wasn't anywhere, but Ticket to Ride's on PlayLink.
I know, I did see. It's like £12 though.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's 16, but
fuck that.
I think it's designed for local play, in that you can have your cards hidden on your phone rather than on the screen.
Makes sense.
Online, it auto hides them anyway because you're playing online, so probably not much merit in it.
No. Not really.
But yeah, no, PlayLink stuff could work. Obviously, as you say, like, it would make the most sense if you could slot a phone in there, but I don't know exactly how that would work. But yeah, why not? Interesting.
Next, buddy, Steam have paid out $20,000 to a hacker who discovered critical Steam security flaw. So this was a dude, security researcher Artem Moskowski, I'm going for. It's probably wrong. He discovered a flaw in Steam that enabled unscrupulous... Oh, man, who wrote this? Users with access to the developer portal to generate unlimited game keys. That's right. Unlimited game keys. But rather than reward himself with a copy of every game on the platform... he told Valve about it, and they gave him 20 grand.
Apparently last week he found something else, and they gave him 25. So he's basically doing, like, hacking Valve for a living at the moment, and making a fairly tidy profit in doing so.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing I saw about this was that the codes that it generates are used codes, owned codes. I don't know how that works exactly, or what it means, like, if could he have transferred other people's products to himself? Is that how it would have worked? Or would it have just come up and said, it doesn't work, kind of thing?
I don't know
exactly how Steam works with that. But, pretty interesting that people can make a living just trying to break shit and then being like, I found a way to break this. Like, it's very cool that Valve pays out, because obviously it must be saving them so much money in
definitely
actually testing shit.
He said at one point he entered a random string into a request at one point and ended up with 36,000 activation keys for Portal 2.
Well, fair enough then, eh? There you go.
There you go. There's loads of other bollocks about it on here. Yeah, in July, earned him another 25,000. Yeah, you're there, buddy. Nice, there you go. Yeah, hack stuff, get paid. Done.
It's an amazing skill. Like, at least he's using it for good.
Gibbons.
Yeah.
Well, for what we know, buddy.
Yeah. As far as we're aware.
Yeah. to our knowledge. Finally, buddy, sad news, buddy. Normally it's a good news story, but it's sad news. I don't know. Depends how you think about it. It is pretty sad news, but you know, don't know about you, buddy. Did you have strategy guides back in the day?
I had.
Did you get some PDFs of strategy guides?
No, I did have an official Tomb Raider 2 strategy guide.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like it. Well, was it a Primer Games strategy guide?
I can't remember. Could well have been.
More than likely, they were the big wigs.
Yeah, the head honchos of strats.
Top dogs. They're shutting down, buddy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because the internet's there, they haven't really got an option.
I was going to say, all the major game sites have walkthroughs and shit these days, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. The company was founded in 1990 and has been producing guides for the last 28 years.
Man, they've had a good run.
Yeah, and they've seen a significant decline in printed video game guides. I wonder why.
Yeah, it's interesting. Imagine.
Who'd have thought that would happen? Anyway.
Givens.
Sad news, buddies, but, you know, is what it is.
Indeed, indeed.
So there you go, buddy. That's my news for this week.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that news, buddy. It was tasty and delicious. And before that, of course, was my news, which was less so. And overall, that was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
Let's take a look at some games coming out this week. Probably filled with microtransactions, the crazy pay-to-win mechanics. Because fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Buy our shit.
And that's out this week, I guess.
Yeah, and there's not very much out this week.
Good.
Good, he's pleased. Firstly, Battlefield 5 is, I suppose it's out this week. It was also kind of out last week, and it'll probably be out next week as well, depending on what edition you fucking buy. Either way, Battlefield 5 out this week on Xbox One, PS4, and PC, buddy. We also have Warframe arriving on the Switch. I can't believe it. How amazing. What a monumental achievement.
Got that running on the Switch?
Don't know how they've got it running, buddy. How incredible that 2012-13 PC game has arrived on the Switch. But there we are. Meanwhile, on the Xbox One, what a treat you have as Farming Sim 19 arrives on your platform for your cultivating pleasure. And finally this week, buddy, Bendy and the Ink Machine is arriving on PS4, Xbox, and PC. And it looks cool. This game looks fucking cool. It's like a first-person adventure puzzler. Think Cuphead in first person, and it's kind of like Portal-esque puzzler. And that's kind of what you've got. It's all kind of zany and weird, strange, like Animaniac kind of shit going on.
I'm just incredibly confused by your words.
It looks cool. It looks really good. And that's coming to PS4, Xbox, and PC this week. And that's it. There's nothing else. So that's out this week, buddy. Just the four games. Obviously, I discount loads of random shite Steam Greenlight bullshit, and 3DS titles don't tend to make it in here either. So
that's true.
Just the cream of the crop, like Farming Sim 19 and Bendy and the Ink Machine, buddy.
Every week we end the show with questions and comments sent in by you. If you've got anything for us, just pop an email to the jfgpodcast@gmail.com or contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or at justforgamers.co.uk.
Now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
You got a question we wanna know. Street Beat.
Facebook, Twitter, we're on them all. So hit us up and be on the show. The JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We want to know.
You get on the show.
Get on the show. And we're going to use Street Beat right now for some good news, buddy, because friendly neighborhood. Good news, everyone. Our friendly neighborhood JJ arrives in the official Discord chat for the JfG podcast, buddy, which of course you can access by going to our website www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk and finding a link there to our Discord, which you can then join. And JJ, of course, is on there because he's one of our most hardened, cheeky, often global ambassador, I would probably say, sugar daddy. Supplier of competition prizes.
Yeah.
And all-round good egg.
It's a gag.
It's a good egg. JJ says, good news, buddies. Humble automatically unpauses itself, so a fresh batch coming soon. Which means we'll have plenty more Steam keys to give away on whatever we give them away on. Something IO. Gleam.io. So,
get on it on something. Get on the website. Do this thing. Get a game.
Givens, yeah. We've got one going on at the moment. It's got a week to go, I think.
Staxels? Was that last week? I can't remember.
Staxel was last time. I can't even remember either.
Something else this week.
Yeah, it's up there. You can find it via our website.
Go on it. I can't be asked.
Other one, Curtis.
I'm going to find out for you.
You have a look. Fucking, what do you think this is?
I don't know, mate. I had a little chat with him. I think it's like Metal Gear 5 and City Skylines. I'm like, are you going to keep any of them, buddy? He's like, nah, they're all shit. Like, that's fair dues. And I asked him about, what games are you looking forward to? He's a massive Battlefield fan, and he was chatting a bit about Battlefield 5 and how they're putting it back around, and how Battlefield 1 was a pile of wank. And nothing will ever beat Battlefield 4, obviously.
The hardcore fans totally bounced off Battlefield 1, didn't they, after a matter of weeks?
Ballbags, really. And then I was like, well, what are you looking forward to? And he was just like, Doom! I'm like, yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Doom
fair play. Yeah. I will eventually get VFR, the Doom VR game, but waiting for it to drop sort of sub £10 at this point.
Yeah.
And it's Little Nightmares is the game that's currently on offer with 2 days to go. That will be over by the time anyone hears this, so that's now ended as well, buddies. And
check it out. There'll be a new game on there on Friday when this comes out.
Yeah, there you go.
Check it.
And once again, thanks so much, JJ. What a ledge.
Gibbons, buddy.
So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 189 of the JfG podcast. What a time we've had. I'm a bit juiced up at this point, down sort of third of the way down my third beer, and feeling pretty rigid. And I suppose it only really remains for me to say what we're going to play now. It's a little bit earlier than usual.
I'm going to have to do some Need for Speed challenges.
It's a good shout.
Straight off the bat. And then, I don't know, after that, we'll see.
We'll see how we go.
We shall see. Who knows?
Mollusk World in many ways. How exciting. Cool. Well, thanks so much for listening and sticking with us, buddies, for all these years it is now, which is mental. We're still having a lovely time doing this, so hopefully you're still having a lovely time listening. If not, then let us know. That'd be an interesting conversation to have with you. So get stuck in. You can always give us some shit on Discord, as I said. Join us on our website, and you can find all that stuff, or head over to Street Beat if you want to hurl abuse at us in a more direct way, and get on the show. Because we want to know, buddies.
We want to know.
We'll be back next time round, at which point I feel like we'll have bought a game. I've got a sneaking suspicion. It's been a couple of weeks since we bought a game, and it tends to be fortnightly that we pick up some sort of cheeky little mediocre piece of shit because we've got a hankering to win the game of buying games.
I'll do that.
It can happen. So we'll have more to talk about then, buddies. Until then, thanks so much for listening. I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JfG podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Street Beat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JfG podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JfG podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JfG podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join, just search the JfG podcast on there, and we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.